Alright, Secret DIY here, and today on this Fan Dabby Dozy episode, this is episode 2 of my how to make £500 in 2 days. So, today we're on to the papering. So I'm going to show you how I put the paper up and how I got it all prepared, but I'll probably do another video on an in-depth. I've got another papering job coming up, how to do the papering and loads of tips and tricks in it. But for the moment, I'm just showing you this, so you've got it. This is just an insight of what you have to do to make this type of money, and if you can do this and you can learn this and you can do it well, you can make good money at it, because there's not many painting decorators who really want to tackle something like this. So I started off by putting some lining paper over my paste table. This is just to keep the paste table clean, because I'll be honest with you, I'm a messy sod and I do get paste all over the place. When I'm doing something like this, I just put some lining paper on it, and then that stops all the silliness, and it's lovely to go over and lovely to work off. Now, what it said in the manufacturer's instructions, you actually had to press on a code on your phone, and it told you exactly what you needed to do. Once I'd done that, I found out that you had to check you always have to check every single thing for discrepancies, but they turn around and they say there's no comeback. So I went round checking all the wallpaper, making sure all the wallpaper was sound, and I showed the customer, and my mate's wife, sorry, she was over the moon, so we were ready to get cracked on with the job. I then cut a little slither off the end of the wallpaper. The reason I've done this is because I wanted to start setting out where my paper was going to go. I drew little small lines to know where it was going to end and make it the best I possibly could. So I had one end the same size as the other end, and that just keeps everything in unison, and it makes it just looks like a well better job. After I'd done that, then I went on to put my line down. I put my line down with my spirit level where my first bit was going to go, so I knew I'd keep it all nice and straight. Then after that, I went on to pasting the wall, ready to put the wallpaper up. So here I'm just showing you, I use a snap-off blade. I like using, people call them craft knives, snap-off blades, utility knife, whatever you want to call it. But I like to use these because you can keep your ends sharp by just obviously snapping them off with their some pliers. That sorts it out. You just keep going through them systematically, and you get about, 10 cuts out of them, something like that. So by the time you've done one strip of wallpaper, you just snap it off, then you're back to square one again and you're sharp. So now I've pulled the wallpaper off and I'm going to make me cut. I'm going to make me cut at the top. The reason is I'm taking the corner off so that I could just push the flaps, which will be 2 inch on each end, 2 inch on the side I've left and 2 inch at the top, and then that just pushes into the corner. Once that's done, I get my whiz and my Stanley knife, and I pull them across the top and I pull them down the side to start getting rid of all the wallpaper. And all I'm doing is just putting a cut against my whiz with my craft knife, Stanley knife, whatever you want to call it, and making the cut all the way down, ready for the wallpaper to be stuck on properly, so you get the final thing then, and it's all done. So my second piece is on now. I've put my second piece on. Now what you must remember is I've obviously showed you there using my sweep. I'm just going up and down, getting rid of all the bubbles. Then you've got to use your seam roller. Make sure the seam roller goes all the way down, making sure it's keeping those seams tight. Once you've done that, you've got to put a sponge over all the seams to get rid of any excess paste. But to be fair, there wasn't much anyway, because when you do a paste the wallpaper, it's quite good, quite forgiving, and it was quite nice to put up, to be fair. So yeah, just make sure your seams are all together and use a seam roller. You can't go wrong. So next step, this way it gets a little bit exciting. There's a socket to go around. So the best way of doing this is you take your socket off. Well, not right off, you just pull it enough so you can get the paper behind. Once you've done that, then you mark your corners, where your corners are going to be, and then you make your cuts, and you make your cuts into triangles. Once you've made your cut into a triangle, you cut everything off around it, so you've just got a little slither of about 1/2 centimetre. So once that's done, say 5 mil for argument's sake, Once that's done, then you go around with your whiz and you obviously knock everything down behind the paper, behind the socket. Once you've done it behind the socket, then it's just a case then of getting your suede, making sure everything's all nice and down and no bubbles there or anything, and then you just put the socket back on, and then that keeps everything tight. Then you're ready to do your cuts at your bottom, and then yeah, that's it really. Then you're ready on to the next piece of paper. Once that's done, then it's just a case of obviously repeating the process. So I'll show you how we did that. Let's get cracked on. So I hope you like what you've seen. Just like to turn around and ask you if you could subscribe, that would be brilliant. Big thumbs up would be much appreciated. And also I'd just like to turn around and say thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.